So today we are welcoming in the space of medicine woman, medicine man, two brave men that appear from the heaven, from the sky. It just
From the shadows.
yeah, from the shadows or the cave. We just like honestly, we didn't plan. It just happened miraculously today. So welcome. This is Łukasz and Tomek.
Tomek and Łukasz.
Łukasz and Tomek and the dog.
And Bambosz.
And Bambosz, yes. And me, I am founder of a nomadic heart art medicine that is holding space for witnessing journey of healing and inviting beautiful souls to share as well its own process of growing, healing and being alive on earth, which sometimes brings a lot of challenges for each of us. So we met a few years back, and I think this was beautiful because I remember when Tomek was receiving on diet, it was an ayahuasca. One of my friends contacted me when she was in Peru, and I was actually in the island, calling a new land, trying to raise money for my travel to India, but it didn't happen, and I was like already thinking Scotland or Holland or another place, and she appeared from nowhere, Tomek, and she connected me to you, and we have WhatsApp video call, and I am so grateful because you really support me so much. And actually because of you it's one of the reasons I started my shamanic training is also because of Tomek, because he really supported me in that moment. He was so generous with your open heart and offerings, and I am so grateful, Tomek, and I will never forget that. Honestly, I'm so grateful. And it was like universal connection, so, and a lot of teaching on the way, but like wow, it was super wow. And now we are meeting again, and Tomek like have exciting project with Łukasz to share. So maybe first, Tomek, we start from you, and through Tomek I met a Łukasz, and you know, and these guys are doing amazing work and they have something to share. So let's start from you would like to introduce yourself, Tomek, you first, and then we can start with Łukasz, and then we can see what is next.
Okay. Yeah, let's go with the flow.
Aha.
Thank you, Isa.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting to this call. And I remember this years back. Divine connection, no?
See, it was very crazy, a lot of teaching and a lot of growing, but definitely I'm grateful.
Yeah.
So would you like to say something about who are you and what is your journey, and anything that you're feeling that you would like to share about yourself?
Okay, so my journey started many years ago. Back in Poland already. So it was like 15 years ago maybe. And I started from discovering plant medicines.
Different kinds of plant medicines.
Yeah, it started from the most common, which is now already as medicine, but back then it was a drug, which is cannabis. So I always go back to giving thanks to that plant, cannabis, because this opened my mind to see that the plants are medicines. And then I started looking for ways to help myself, because being young person, like 15 years, 16 years old, and sick already, low immunity and stuff, antibiotics and drugs from pharmacy were not helpful. And then this plant helped to see that the plants are really open in teaching and medicines.
And it's so interesting because when I was in South America, I met one guy that was very wise, and I think he was in the court because he was holding a lot of cannabis in his house, but he was using it with a healing purpose, and the cannabis helped him to start walking, and it was long process. And he really mindfully used that medicine, and there is a lot of taboo according the cannabis And there's also like it can be also be abused, and it's about our connection with the plant, and we're gonna speak about it more because any kind of plant can is also have the shadow side as our emotions, right?
Yeah,
But I feel like also it's good to mention that it has a lot of huge potential and healing, and honoring that this powerful medicine that we often abuse.
yeah. Well, we can all abuse any kind of medicine, ayahuasca, San Pedro.
Everything, yeah. So I totally.
Depends.
I also have like small journey with cannabis, and I also can see potential in deep healing and releasing as well.
Yeah.
And this is how your journey began, and where that journey guide you. Where are you now with that medicine? Or
With
with
this
the
medicine,
many kinds of medicine, you know, the
yeah,
plant
so with
medicine,
that
but
medicine, like it had its teachings, and then it's complete. It ended. So I don't use cannabis at all now, apart from CBD sometimes. Yeah, because this is how I see the plants are like teachers, and you learn, and you stop learning at some point, and then you are left with attachment, and
this is
that's
the
it.
big one.
Yeah.
Yes, this is big one. And now you also, so maybe yes,
Yeah, so now jungle basically.
jungle.
Exciting, exciting, always exciting jungle. So with Lucas
Yes, and
and
Lucas,
another friend Marceli, who's not here today.
Lucas,
Yeah.
who are you?
So yeah, I'm Łukasz. Thank you also for that meeting and delicious tea and
Thank you.
yeah, how it started similar. I would say more about 11 years ago. Also with cannabis, but it was the time for me that I didn't really realize the full potential of cannabis and plant medicine. It was coming more to me with liberty cups with mushrooms, and that path took me through Amanita muscaria, what was my main teacher, I would say. The biggest transformation in my life was coming through Amanita muscaria, and yeah, and potential of that also, like how to detached from pharmacy and find a way of self-healing. Of course, this journey, this path was coming also through Cambo, what was another big big crossroad for me. And yeah, when we can finally detox ourselves and clean our body to feel and to receive, that's what the existence was bringing to us. It was, yeah, that was amazing time. But yeah, like that is, the journey is quite long.
The journey to the jungle.
Yeah, journey to the jungle. Journey to the jungle was also amazing, because that's what Thomas say about attachment as detachments. My attachment to cannabis was quite strong, but before my first ceremony with ayahuasca, what was gateway to jungle, I stopped smoking at all and never come back to that medicine, because it's done. It's the job. What was have to be done by cannabis was done, and there is no point to back to that stage. But yeah, it was open up many years ago, 5 years plus. I'm not sure now. To first visit in jungle, and start working with ayahuasca, with other plant medicine, master plants. yeah, it's give me a view how our body is reacting on traumatic situations in our lives, how it's stuck in our body, and how what we can do to heal, and yeah, and how plant medicines can support us with that.
Yeah, and and it's not one. For some people it's one right, and many of us, I spoke to some people, they one receive it and they knew it. That's it. There is no. But with you, guys, I really admire that you keep going in that medicine and you diving deeper and deeper because the calling is there, right? We know when the calling is coming from even it's not even about us that we meant to do, because it's like, as I feel sometimes, for me things are moving very slowly, but it feels like it's when I'm not doing something, I am haunted at night. It's like
Oh, yeah.
it's like it's like the mantra is coming, and it's like you are not doing what you meant to do. You need to do it, even if I cannot face the challenges, of course, or I'm think I'm not doing it. But it's kind of like I'm hunting, but it's like it's something that it's not fulfilled if you are not doing it. I don't know how it is for you, because it's been for you many years of going deeper, and now you're coming with that beautiful project where people actually can come and experience, and we're gonna speak about it more, as it's so important that we spoke before, that now it's very commercialized. The plant medicine especially become very commercialized, and it's like a shot, and what is the integration, and what is that humbleness towards the medicine, because they have so much love. It's a vibration, and there are generation of people that know how to look after the plants. They have special connection with the plant and medicine, and also the process of preparation is very important, right?
Yeah.
Like how we gather the medication, how we also create its own way of communicating, and very often like songs, Icaros,
Yeah.
that are part of the journey, right? And so would you like to speak about it more, like actually what is happening and what is happening? It's Peru, right? The place that, and what is the name, and what is your vision, and how does it actually happen? It's happened through the dreaming process, or it's happened that you've been called to open space there? How does it begin? Because beautiful souls, Tomek and Lucas and Thomas, open a beautiful space, and they have a land in Peru that is actually in process of inviting other people to experience with the connection with the nature, and Pachamama and the jungle have a special vibration. It's totally different than here, because I received my first ceremony was in the jungle, and the calling of them is so strong to go back, because it's different than when we receive a little bit in Europe.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
want to
different.
judge, it's just for me it was different. So you would like to share how this vision happened,
Yeah.
and because it's a gift that people can come and reconnect with the mother nature, and with themselves, with ourselves.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a gift. Yeah.
It's a gift, yeah.
So it's a gift received from the space, and the gift is to be shared. No? So the gift, doing a lot of work with ayahuasca in the jungle for a few years, and then receiving messages and visions about how this planet needs help and humanity needs help, but also that ayahuasca is already, and all the plants and earth being exploited, like taken advantage of, everything getting corrupted. So basically the visions were coming in dreams and ceremonies to work with plants in general, not only with ayahuasca, because a lot of people are focused on just go experience the journey, and here it's
much more.
It's
Jungle
about,
have much more to offer and give.
yeah, and if you want to learn and heal, receive what's for you, you need to connect with the plant, not only through drinking whatever the stuff is, because some people don't even know names, they don't want even to ask what they drink. Here we want to share everything.
Yeah.
It's like full experience.
So ayahuasca basically grows there, and the visions and one of the main things in that project is to grow because this land we got from our friend through amazing connection as well, a local friend who's doing it with us in the jungle. So he already planted many years ago ayahuasca, and we got the land from him with around 40 vines growing already and ready to harvest. And then you are confronted with this huge responsibility. Either you just make money from it or you take it a responsible way. That's how I see it, at least, and do something more important, which is like education for all of us and for people there, and how to blend all together so it works for every person, and the plant itself is getting getting the respect. I mean, we give respect to it through replanting it, basically harvesting right way, harvesting, replanting, so it's sustainable. So it's not only taking it and drinking and then you have to find somewhere else because we used all. So respect to all the plants and all the people involved,
and staying in this circle of life, not be greedy of that what the our land is giving to us, but also with other plant medicine what we're using there. This connection is not only by drinking the brew, it's also like us seeing these plants growing there and replanting every time when we can use it, and also the mission is to connect modern world with nature in the gentle way. It's not in the harvesting way. It's gentle way, and that's we open up a connection with therapists who continue working with people who coming to us to to keep the support to stay in this process of healing and realizing like their life situations.
Yeah, and also I spoke with you before. I really feel that this is so important. We spoke about the diet and how much sometimes stay with the medicine for a little bit longer time, and diet can be also very beneficial for us, as we need that support of integration and be with the medicine as well, and it's a very vulnerable process because it's really going quite deep into like shedding the skin, and after that we are coming back to modern life from that deep journey within, and then it can be very like heartbreaking for us to face it, right? It's like you are naked, you are completely naked, and I feel like it's like everything is it might scream, especially when we are quite traumatized. I think I carry a lot of traumas from past lives, so for me it was quite emotional, and still it is, like, and from where that trauma is coming from. And I think it's on this very personal journey, but it's so important to speak about that integration process. And what I love when we spoke about it, that after, even when people come for diet or stay with you, they can still volunteer and they can still a little bit longer on the land, so they are not straight away back into the city, back for traveling, especially when you're going to Peru. And you don't maybe speak Spanish or stuff like that. You also supporting people as well in that process of integration, which I found is very humbling and beautiful as well. Of course, there's a ways, but also people can stay a little bit longer and learn about medicine, and it's not like supermarket. You come, you buy, and you go, right? It's like you can deeper that connection, and I'm sure when somebody feel that calling, there is also a way to learn more and collaborate with you in many ways. So I'm really honoring that offering, because I feel it's very important part. And as we going there, like if you could speak, because we spoke about it like integration process, and you already, both of you mentioned that is for all of us, mentioned something different and it might change according to time. So what is now for you the integration process of, like, you know, because you've been in Peru and now you come back to here, yeah, to Scotland, when energy is totally Europe, it's totally different.
Yeah.
So how do you integrate even yourself from being there, that being like so close to Pachamama, Mother Nature, is like she's, and the birds and the plants and the animals, being here now in the city?
Yeah, so even though I lived here many years before
Uh-huh.
going to to Peru, and then coming here every year, because this is also from dreams I received,
Mm-hmm.
that it has to be like this for some time to connect create like a bridge
Mm-hmm.
to connect people from here who place there, so it can work together in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like you basically feel that your system is getting fried from too much stimuli.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much stimuli you just don't feel because you are numbed living here in the city. So coming back from there, being open just from the nature, not even doing any ayahuasca, the nature, the jungle will open you up. And yeah, you are like, whoa, feeling like it's so much of everything.
So much life, right?
Yeah, there, but here so
Yes,
much
yes.
of like everything what numbs,
Uh-huh, totally.
yeah, numbs you out. So the way is, no, we go to the nature as soon as possible and as often as possible. And then breath work, very important. Coming to the body, yeah? And being honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Being honest, and yeah.
I'm keeping that in discipline of my routines. What really helped me, like coming back to Europe from jungle. Of course, the first days is like I'm missing, you know, all of those sounds and you know, like a preparation of the jungle. What is like a healing by itself, you know, like being there. It's already, you know, like hyping up your nervous system. So yeah, like also, of course, the first days are yeah, more struggling of overstimulation of even seeing so many people, you know, in one place. It can be overwhelming. Like, you know, I mean, in the situation when you can be like a couple of months in the jungle, surrounds of couple of people, and you know, like the most busy places is like a market when we take in, we're buying some local food, and then we're coming here, for example. What I can't say nothing bad about Scotland. It's a beautiful place, but still can be overwhelming. Anyway, like a discipline of daily things, and yeah, keep me alive.
Yeah, because in the jungle, you know, it's not only about sitting and drinking medicine and ceremonies, because you work with the land, right?
Yeah,
It's like ceremonies is only one part of it, and we often think like, you know, and everyone wants to do, like, for me it's like so hungry for the ceremony because it's beautiful, yes, you're sitting and you're drinking, and so it's like celebration, but you know, after that before that and after that there is work that need to be done. That, you know, this harvesting, I feel celebration, like ceremony is like harvesting now, I can see as it is, yeah, it's big celebration. But there's to that point happen, it takes a lot of work with the land as well, because you look, land is looking after you and you looking after the land.
Yeah, and when you are not doing it,
then it's like you can see how the plants are growing and everything is yeah, so it's like you're doing also a lot of physical work. And do you feel like also the physical work, physicality exercises also support you in that process of integration?
Yeah, of course. So if you go into because our mind, it has got this tendency, our mind's tendency to just float away into the process, as it's called,
Mm-hmm.
and you can go too much into it. And the way to ground yourself or to help with integrating whatever happens there is coming back to basic jobs, basic work with the land. It's always helpful. Always it brings you back to yourself. And yeah, and you start taking care of land, the land takes care of you, yourself, and you can feel it, and you can see it, and it's it's investment into yourself, into communities, it's commitment, and it's challenging, and what else? But it's like
Basically, gardening.
commitment.
Gardening. Like
Mhm.
you are the gardener of the jungle.
Yeah.
And same like what we can comparing. It's like as same you are gardener of yourself. And if you feed yourself, if you take care of yourself, the garden is beautiful, it's growing, it's blooming, and yeah, and that's what we say about the integration. For everyone is something else. Like everyone have like some other needs, or like other fertilizers, would say. Like for you can be like a yoga, for example. It's gonna be like help you with integration of of being surrounded of city life, or like the moment for yourself when you can introspect you and check what the process is going on through you. For someone can be like cycling, hiking.
Yes. Yeah, that's very true, because it's like the medicine, right? For all of us, it's becoming integration also is part of the medicine. And coming to that, like, there's a lot of different ceremonies happening. Like in Europe, we cannot speak openly about it because it's illegal, and people just do it. It's happening. Unfortunately, fortunately, I don't know, it's happening that way. In South America, in other places, it's just part of life. Ceremonies, plant medicines are part of life, and people are not hiding. There's like, and I feel like it will be also helpful for all of us if this medicine will be just officially legal, because it's created this black market. But it's just my personal, my and then it's create that feelings that we are doing something wrong. Yeah, so I hope that also will gonna change. But also I know that this holding space and intentions are not really even not here in just South America. There's like black magic involved, and there's a mixture of different medicine that is mixed, and it's big topic. What do you think, like, where is the intentions that actually, like, and so many people are actually wounded after the medicine, or they really struggle to come back, and they are so scared and terrified, and often then we blame the medicine for it, or other people, like, so and because you've been witnessing us as well here, some ceremonies, how does it happening, and I'm a little bit also confused about the intentions in general, like what is happening, not only with plant medicine, but it's become like supermarket.
It's become like like industry.
Yes, exactly.
Industry, it became industry. Many times I was thinking to do something else in my life, because seeing what it becomes, it just puts you away. It's like it makes you think like, I want to participate in this kind of environment, but you can't avoid it, that everything becomes corrupted basically. But so you need to focus yourself working with this medicine or with anything in life, and have your moral code strong, focus, and face the challenges. To keep walking your path and talking about everything honestly, about what it is and what it is for. So for me it's medicine, but for some other people it can be a tool, or even a weapon for some tribes back in the past. So what you are talking about is black magic. For some people it's just to make money, Yeah. So when the focus is only to make money, then you are more in the way of dark black magic,
Mhm.
and then you have the way of healing. No. So there's two ways: healing or black magic.
But it's also not easy because like in on one way, we spoke about it with Jada School of Shamanism about money because it's a big topic and very often it's controversial because very often people probably ask, oh, why this is so expensive, why this costs so much money, and this I understood, it's a choice. Yeah, we make a choice because it's like to prepare the medicine to hold the space, everything. Holding space also takes a lot of energy and effort, and it's not like your daily life job. You're just doing this with so much you need to also prepare yourself for that ceremony, right? So it's like hours of inner work and gathering information and all of that. So we often still thinking, oh, it's so expensive, yeah, and how does it cost so much money and stuff like that. So do you like how this for you? Do you like do you when you started, yeah, because before you holding now space, but before like you started, did you questioning that before you went for diet to Peru and stuff like that? Did you had that question for yourself?
Oh, because before when I went, the first time I went to the jungle, I was just seeing it as investment
Investment for
into
yourself.
myself healing. So what you will be, uh, you want to save on yourself and save up on
You can,
making your life better. Then
Mhm.
when you want to save up,
you can stay on the pills for whole your life, and when you have opportunity to help yourself, and or like in this modern world, you can help yourself, of course, by hiding your emotions, your feelings, by drugs, by medicines, drugs, and take them for whole your life. What is of course damaging your body, your mentality, or you can for example, as Thomas, as me, after all, invest in yourself once, twice, 3 times, depends how much you need, and comparing that on the period of whole life, it's nothing. It's not that much at the end of the day. And and possibility of healing it's so big, so amazing.
And what healing is for you, like that healing that is happening your in your personal journey and understanding?
Yeah, like to living with peace with myself. Yeah, like living with no stragglings mm, of that's what is happened to me, for example, like of understanding the way of of situations what was coming to me, and don't blame everyone around, don't blame myself. It is at the moment I can deal with stuff currently. um, I'm lucky that I'm not struggling with physical way, with nothing. But it's also like a process to not struggling, you taking care of every single aspect. Okay, healing, big subject. But yeah,
Yeah.
because like it's coming from aspect of sleeping, enough of sleeping, good well sleep, through diet, through mental stage, through studying of your emotions, like working with of relation, and and that's
So
what
it's
is
like
healing.
also self-care, right?
Like I mean, like it's more holistic than
Mm-hmm.
what is healing. Is hard to say, like what is healing, because depends also where is your sickness coming from, and and healing is one of the part of the healing is finding the core, where is like where is the blockade, and where this sickness come from, and understanding that, bringing the changes, and keep on with changes, and understanding like how you want to change it. yourself of wellness, of being healthy.
Great. And for you, Tomek?
Yeah, big topic, no? Healing. So at some point I stopped using that word in that journey, in that work, and focused more on harmonizing. So when you are, because that's how I see it myself, but also it's like from other points of view, from other how do you call it? Not religions, systems, belief systems, like in India or Chinese or Buddhism or whatever. All of them use plants, no? Or different techniques, and it's about harmonizing, bringing your body, your cells, yourself to the place of harmony, and then everything else it's just disappearing unless you recreate the pattern, which is not so easy sometimes to drop the pattern.
Yeah.
So here that's why you have beliefs. You need to change some beliefs, attachments, and all that complexity of.
So is that a constant work on yourself,
Yeah, it's
right?
constant
Because
work,
it's like
focus work.
it's like because very often we might have like
I don't know, you drink 3 coffees and you are out of balance because you have not enough magnesium. You need to eat some cacao
but like
get magnesium to bring
yeah.
yourself back. Sometimes it's simple things,
Because
other times it's more complex.
because I think like we might I don't know, for my teaching, like it was like not that I misunderstood, I wasn't humble, but in some ways I thought like, oh, ayahuasca will gonna completely change my life, and we're gonna completely open new doors, and completely we're gonna take away everything from me, and I will be like newborn, you know what I mean? It's like somehow this was, I haven't got expectation, but I found out after my journey it was like I had a huge expectation, and she showed me straight away. So hey, you coming with this, with empty pot to me? And and the first ceremony didn't happen, and and I need to wait for another, which I waited quite long, so I was like really humbling, and it's kind of like, and then I saw like, oh, so actually I have too high expectation from her, so she works a little bit differently, and she came to teach me something different, which I'm still curious what she's trying to teach me and what is her message. And I think that's why I call it very humbling plant medicine. And there's much more that are like happy to help us, but without that inner work, I think sometimes because we hear miracle story, people say, oh yes, I changed this, and then you start believing that also this is just happening, like by receiving that ceremony, right? Sometimes it's happened, we don't know, because everyone is different, and I heard like beautiful stories, but let's that inner work is part of it. Like daily life, yeah, the daily commitment to wake up,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, and you basically you can go back after like 1,000 ceremonies and 10 years. You can go back to old habits just like that. Just like that, no?
So what helps you like to stay focused and work on yourself? Because many of us like have struggle with a lot of anxiety, especially in this life that we're living in. The prices of life is increasing, and being separate from the land, which is a big one. I feel it myself, like living in the city. This is something that I scream for. My inner child is like grieving for that calling with the Mother Earth. So how do you like live? How do you we spoke about it, but really like how we can just daily life, just do the work.
Yeah, so to me daily life it's like reconnecting with yourself. You reconnect, but it's not just so some people can go to extremes. Either like I will leave my family, live alone, and just meditate, and it all be good, all will be good, but it's not as simple. So it's not the work on yourself is I will meditate, do yoga every day, and drink ayahuasca sometimes, and all will be good. You need to, how I see it in within myself, I end up every so often in this like challenge, same like you just explained. And what brings me back is the balance, time for myself to take care of myself, friends, family. Yeah, taking care of yourself is all about food and breath work, going out to the nature, and focusing on allowing yourself to feel shit when you are not feeling well. You just need to allow it, allow whatever has to die to just
Allow to
let
feel
go of
it,
it.
right? Because often we are afraid to feel it.
Yeah,
Because it's
that's what you said before, like
Yeah.
to be honest with yourself.
yeah. Be honest with yourself.
And with your current needs, and yeah, it's okay to feel shy, and we don't have to spark every day, be like a walking suns. There is a days when when we down, when we want to hide out under the rock, and it's also okay. And in the circle of life, like to don't stuck in the stage.
and how
that's
to
the
not
point.
to get stuck. This is the big one.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, like but also like this is this part of, for me, it's like this part of this holistic way of it, and why I'm in this down stage, why I want to be under the rock if I need the rest because I'm exhausted or physically exhausted, or there was like too much of socializing and I have to recover my mentality, and my inner introvert was calling like no more people now, we have enough, or other way, like this could be the scare of coming back to social life, and just push yourself and step by step, like making like I've no strayed to massive concert of 5,000 people, just step by step, like get with your close people, with your family, and and slowly get back into it.
So, from your experience being in the nature and being in contact with plant medicine, also receiving them, it's also help us to change our frequency. It might that possibility of changing the frequency of thinking, or
Yeah.
like the shifts, and so very often if we want because we're living very fast life, and even me myself, I was kind of, I want everything fast. Now everything is going slow, and I also is a message, and it can be a medicine, because it's slow, and sometimes we struggle because we're supposed to be fast. But I feel like that also that frequency of the plant medicine, she also teaches us, right? It might be slow process of integration as well.
Yeah, some things. I mean, it might be one ceremony. You don't know what happened, or one vision of some sort, which which you fulfill 5 years later. But so it's all about patience, and like Einstein said, time is relative, no? And
Especially with working with plants.
yeah, but people like to,
Very often, because people very often give up,
So
because
the-
it's not
the-
working, right? Because I don't have the effects, I don't feel the kick, nothing is changing, and then you go into the trap of thinking, yeah?
Yeah, so here
And-
the your enemy is yourself, your mind, and attachment to the vision or mind or whatever. When I get some visions, then interesting, and just accept it, allow it to disappear. If it's needed and important, you will remember. If not, you forget.
Very similar, like with dreams.
So it's
If they have a message for you, you remember them for whole day and days and days. If they was like just another dream of try to figure it out what's happening in your brain during the day, they disappear on the seconds. But also like that's one of the lessons from plant medicines during the dieta. Is to slow down. Our attachments that we have to be fast. We have to be faster because world is coming faster. We need more because of the rise pricing, and etc. And everything push us to be like a more and faster and quicker and more productive and
More successful, yeah?
more successful, you know, more bigger, stronger, more.
More.
That's the lesson from the plants. Is like if you're gonna be faster, if you want to be faster, you're not gonna hear that what the plants want to tell you. That's why there is dieta, and you have like this you can stay there, you know, and stop and have like this pause. What is very important, and also like the pause in the music make it more beautiful, you know. Like when you hear like classic music, there is like the pause is very important moment. And and with plant medicine, when you can pause, you know, they start talk to you.
And I didn't ask you before, and I should it's happening now. This is the shoot coming out. What is the name of the place that you open, or the project? How people can find you on Facebook, and what is your offering actually? What are you doing in Peru?
So the place it's called Whispers of the Jungle, and it's in the jungle next to the town called Tamshiaku. Tamshiaku is like 1 hour from Iquitos by boat on nice Amazon.
Up the river.
Up the river, you can meet dolphins, pink dolphins.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They actually living very close to village, like to the small town.
Yeah, we
It's
just
called Tamshiaku.
we can go and just watch them jumping because they
Nice.
live there.
They have some beautiful frequency, the dolphins, so you are very blessed with that energy to have them.
Yeah, so it's like a